Summertime is heating up at Global Voice Broadcasting. Hot music, hot talk, and hot topics. All day, every day, 24/7. You don't want to miss a minute on Global Voice Broadcasting.
I highly recommend Ms. Hicks. Her books, her CDs are encouraging.
I bought her book, A Hill to Climb. She's a very inspirational speaker.
And I look forward to one day being able to work with her.
Your power lies within you. Let it loose.
Aspiration, inspiration, motivation, edification, determination. These are the keys of life success, brought to you by none other than award-winning author, motivational lecturer, business consultant, and much more as she gets you aimed to your purpose. And now, ladies and gentlemen, young and elder, from Hollywood to the entire world, here is your host of Aim to Purpose, the radio show, Louise Hicks, along with her co-host, yours truly, Kennon Wesley Mason.
Hello, world. How is everybody today? And we'd like to welcome you all to Aim to Purpose, the radio show. And I am Louise Hicks, your host.
And I am Kennon Mason, your co-host. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone listening and watching Aim to Purpose radio show from all over the world. We welcome you. We welcome all the one listeners and all the previous listeners and new listeners today as we continue to celebrate our 2-year anniversary being live on the air. So we welcome all of you. Today's topic, the polished entrepreneur, winning in business and nailing it with excellence, with our special guest today, Tina Panariello.
And we are excited about having our special guest because we are going to talk about some great things today. We're going to talk about how to be a successful entrepreneur. And Tina has done so much. She's a champion, a world international champion. But before we get to our special guest, we always kind of like to share a little bit with our audience about what we've done over the weekend, some hot topics that are up. And we know that the latest being they had the DNC convention, where people are all hot and up in the air about voting and who to vote for, how to vote. People are telling other people how to vote, and there are wars going on social media, wars going on mass media about the voting, as if these politicians are really going to pick us up and take us to the water and show us what to do with our own personal lives. So you have anything to say about it, Ken? But my take is whoever becomes president, I'm going to carry on with my life because I don't look to the president or any of them to actually lead my destiny. It is up to me to define my destiny and decide where I want to go in life. And I think based on whoever wins and we vote for, I'm going to do what I do now, which is be active in my community and be proactive and reactive as to what they're not doing. Because no matter who you put in there, if you don't hold them accountable and responsible to the constituents, you're going to get the same thing and the same results that we've been getting over and over and over for decades.
Yeah.
So basically, that's to me what it boils down to.
Yeah. It boils down to politics being the ultimate in entertainment. It's almost like watching a variety show with Republicans and Democrats, and they're clashing with each other, saying what this party does wrong and what the other party does wrong. Hey, it's politics. And politics obviously hasn't really solved much of anything, because every 4 years we seem to be talking about the exact same issues, just a different year and a different president claiming that they're going to do anything for us when it never comes to fruition. Most of your most successful people on the planet can care less who the president is. So
True.
so it doesn't really matter. Wealthy people don't care who the president is. They follow their own rules.
Yeah, because they make many of them, and guess who they make the rules for? To benefit themselves. So we need to start making rules and holding these politicians accountable. For an example,
Start holding yourself accountable.
and hold yourself accountable too, and responsible. But when you vote for them, you need to hold them accountable for doing the things that they claim they're going to do. But we do have to hold ourselves accountable too, and be responsible, as I mentioned earlier, for our own destiny. And a prime example of something that came up, I saw it on the internet about the DARK Act, where I believe it was said that President Obama signed into law that foods don't have to be labeled. Is that correct, Ken?
Yeah, it's something to that effect. I don't have the information in front of me, but I have read something to that effect. The foods aren't, many of your foods aren't labeled here anyway.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, the DARK Act is just another further proof that, you know, the sick care industry that's labeled as a healthcare industry will continue to go on as long as we keep consuming food-like products.
Right. Fake food versus real food. And we talked about that last week when we had our
These are some of the things
guest.
that they're not talking about
Right.
in mainstream politics. You'll never hear about this subject, which affects more people than even the wars that people are talking about in these conventions and all the other stuff that's going on.
It's interesting because in a clip I saw where President Obama was speaking before he became president, he was saying he was going to make sure that we knew what was in the labeling on the food packaging and so forth. And from what I understand, now they're trying to get out of labeling so we won't know what's in the foods that we are consuming. And according to what I heard now, he signed the act. So we'll have to do a little bit more research and find out more about that. And we're going to be talking about that, I'm sure, this month.
I would love to have an entire show to talk about the circus that is politics. And you know, I mean, I know that's not the topic of this particular discussion.
Just our hot topics that we
But
like to
since it is
talk
political
about.
season and we're bombarded with this for
Yeah.
4 days out of the week, you know, you can't help. I wish I hadn't seen it, the convention, because I mean, I can go on for the whole hour about the convention and the themes that you saw and how we as a society are being thoroughly brainwashed into believing that something miraculous is going to come out of having a first woman president.
Really, but we will see. But I don't think anything miraculous is going to come out of it. But at any rate, it kind of segues into our show today because our topic is the polished entrepreneur winning in business and nailing it with excellence. And
Right.
we know that if you're successful and you're an entrepreneur and you win in business, you don't depend on any politicians
That's
to
right.
create your destiny. You're going to create your own destiny. And that's exactly what our guest has done, Tina Panariello, so that she's created her own destiny. And she's going to help us and give us some tips on how she nailed it. So, in fact, let's go to our commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to introduce our special guest.
Yes, it's Aim to Purpose, the radio show, the polished entrepreneur, winning in business and nailing it with excellence with our special guest, Tina Panariello. We'll be right back.
Hello, world! It's the 2-year anniversary of Aim to Purpose, the radio show. So first, we want to thank everyone at Global Voice Broadcasting for the opportunity to share our views and opinions with the global audience. Go to gbvstudios.com/show/A2P. Next, we thank our wonderful guests that have graced the airwaves of A2P throughout the second year. Guests like U.S. President of Citizens Commission on Human Rights, Bruce Wiseman, author and founder of World Class Wrecking Crew, Alonzo Williams, retired family practitioner and author, Dr. Gary Coles, M.D., minister and life coach, Jewel Diamond Taylor, Dr. Fitness USA, Stephen Hersey, author of Holy Lockdown, Jeremiah Kamara, legendary actor, film director, and producer, Bill Duke, author and holistic health advocate, Dr. Layla Ali, author and speaker, Carrie Zane, Dr. O from Wellness Group of America, and many other guests that have openly shared their stories, knowledge, humor, wit, and wisdom with the A2P universe. And most of all, we thank you, the listening and viewing audience, for tuning in each and every week and tuning in to our archive shows on YouTube at Aim to Purpose Radio. Information is power, and the more our audience grows, the more we can give back to the audience, which makes all of us powerful. So we encourage all of you to spread the word about Aim to Purpose, the radio show. Lastly, if you'd like to advertise or sponsor the show, contact Shamika Brown at 1-818-533-8463. So keep tuning in as we continue into our third year, and we thank you again. This is Kennon Mason, co-host of Aim to Purpose, the radio show.
Hello, world, again. I am your host, Louise Hicks. Thank you for chiming in with us, with my co-host, Kennon Mason, as well as my son, Kennon Mason. So we're going to go ahead and introduce our special guest.
Yes, Tina Panariello, owner of Nail Artistry by Tina for 32 years. Nail technician, world-class hand-painted nail art educator, artist, actor, published author, 2015 Top Women in Business, and an accomplished miniature nail artist. She is the first and second place world and international nail art champion, adding many other nail art awards. Tina was recruited at a nail art competition, taking first place by vice president and manager of OPI to become OPI's nail art educator. She judged nail art competitions, show hostess, coordinator, MC, demonstrator at several beauty shows, and is taught at several shows and private schools. Tina has an associate's degree from the prestigious American Academy of Dramatic Arts and a graduate of the Workshop in Business Opportunities. She formed the Carousel Players, a children's theater group. After the release of her inspirational autobiography called Polished, Filing Away at Life's Truths, Tina was a guest speaker at St. Francis College, St. Joseph's College, and numerous high schools. She has been written up in the New York Daily News, U.S. News, and World Report, The Home Reporter, The World of Nails, and other newspapers. She's also the member of the Brooklyn Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, and the National Association of Professional Women. Let's have a warm Aim to Purpose welcome to our special guest, Tina Panariello.
Hi, Tina. How are you? And hello, Tina. Are you there? Hello, Tina?
We're attempting to get her on the line here.
Okay. Well,
while we're waiting
to get Tina on the line, we are so excited to have her here with us, and we're going to talk to her about what got her into being a world-class hand-painted nail art educator. And she has so many titles. She's an artist, an author, and she's really a great businesswoman. And
I think we have her on the line.
We have you online. Tina, are you there?
I'm here. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. How are you today?
I am fine. I loved listening to you two. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
You are unbelievable. I should interview you.
Sounds good to me. Well, if you want to chime in and make a comment about the what we were discussing, we have a beautiful picture of you up there that the worldwide audience is looking at right now, and they can see us live. But since you're Skyping in with us, are you in New York?
Yes, I am. I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you're Skyping in from New York, and anyone that would like to call in and ask questions of Miss Award-winning, world-renowned, international nail art educator and champion, feel free at 323-522-5482. And the number's there on the screen, 323-522-5482. But if you want to have a comment about the DNC convention, feel free.
Too much to watch, too much crazies. I'd rather not watch it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a great comment.
I agree with both of you on both ends.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I don't know if a woman is going to be able to do it. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
You're absolutely, because
Exactly.
it really is up to us individually to make a change in this country. So, and that's what you've done, and that's why I said this would segue us into this conversation, because not only you, there are many out there like you who have done it. You have created your own destiny. And just tell us a little bit about, we read your, well, my son Kennon read your eloquent biography, but tell us a little bit about your background that you want us to know that we may not have shared.
Well, it all sounds like it's like roses and all great. And I was just talking about it to someone today while I was painting a mural in our house, that it wasn't all roses. So everybody out there, I didn't come from with a gold spoon in my mouth or a silver spoon in my mouth. I was brought up by a low-income family. I lived in Lower Manhattan. I came to Brooklyn. And I had a hard time, like a lot of people out there. I'm no different. The only thing I could say is I have a strong will and a strong mind. I didn't know what direction I was going in. I didn't know where, what, who to ask. My parents weren't those type of parents that say, like today, you're going to college, you're going to do this, you're going to be that, try everything you want to try. I didn't come from that. Went to school, graduated high school, didn't go to college. Well, I tried to go to college. You're going to laugh, Louise. I went in, didn't pass the test, and that was it.
Okay.
That's how I went to college.
But that's okay. That's okay, because you don't have to go and get a formal college education to be successful, and we all know that. Definitely.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you. And I started out as a secretary. Could you believe it? A little secretary. Nothing major, nothing big. I worked in the New York Phone Company. I worked for a bank. And then what happened? I decided to go to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. That was my college degree after I got married. And that's how it started. That's how I decided to do what Tina wanted to do.
Right.
Not what I had to do, not what I was told to do. My mother didn't want me to go to it. And I don't know if you know I won't say the word in Italian, but I had an Italian grandmother who felt anybody who was in acting was not a good girl. That's the best way to say it.
Okay, I know what you mean.
Yes. So she was against it, but I did it anyway. And I graduated, and that's where I got my degree in college. So I loved it, but that was a segue into everything else that I tried. It just happened. I was introduced to a jewelry business that helped me promote jewelry, helped me promote nails that I did as a side thing. Didn't think anything of it. There was nothing to do with nails at the time, but I wanted to sell the jewelry, so I offered my nail art as a gift to a woman, Louise, a woman like you, that likes jewelry. And I would look at them and go, Louise, do you like what I have on my nails? And you would look at it and go, yes, Tina, I do. Who did it? I did. Would you like to give me a jewelry party? And not only get jewelry, but you could have my nail art. What do you think? Would you do it?
Wow.
Sounds good, because I do love jewelry, and we have some pictures of your beautiful nails we're going to show in a little bit. But you're absolutely right. And I like what you said, Tina. You were strong-willed and strong-minded. And those things, it really does take a strong-willed person to navigate yourself through this system in order to become an entrepreneur and define your own destiny. And that's what you did. You took control of your life in spite of, like you said, your upbringing, because I can attest to that. I didn't come from with any golden spoon in my mouth, silver spoon and all of that. And those who have followed our show, with this is our second year on the air, you know I talk about my humble beginnings and so forth. But I too, like you, I had that will and that desire to reach my goals and to achieve the things that I wanted in life. So, and when you know you have those talents, how did you know you had that talent, and what led you to understand that you had what it takes to be an artist and an actor and now author and all of this? Did you know that at an early age?
Not at all. Not at all.
Uh-huh.
I remember when I was a little girl, I used to go up to see my mom in the hospital because she was sick the majority of my life and her life. From the age of my 5 to her 79 when she passed, she was always sick. But I would go into the hospital and I would sing. At 5 years old, I would stand in front of her bed and sing to her and do like a dance, like little girls do, not knowing. I had no idea. The only thing I can say I did know, I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
I wanted to be a surgeon, and I used to draw. Now, don't laugh or chuckle.
Okay.
I used to draw the inside of the human body.
Oh.
Nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
That's
I spent
great.
a whole summer at home drawing pictures from my mom's medical library. She just happened to have them. So I drew the pictures. Now, you know how small all the veins are and everything in your body, around the heart? Well, that's what I would draw.
Wow.
Your heart, your lungs, the aorta, everything about it, your eyes, your ears, your nose. And I was very good at it. And that's all miniature work. And I gave it up to unfortunately, to the biology department in high school. I should never have done that.
Okay.
And then I just said, all right, I always did my nails. No, we didn't go to beauty parlors. I don't know if you remember those days, Louise, but beauty parlors weren't around. And if they were, there were maybe 1 or 2 of them.
Right. My
And
beauty parlor was
nails
at my
done. I'm
house,
sorry.
Tina. My beauty parlor was at my house. Doing
Okay.
my own, polishing my own nails. That was my beauty parlor.
That mine too. So I did it. And the women at my son's school, my son Wayne at his school, used to ask me who did it. And I said, I did. And then they said, well, why don't you do it? I said, I know nothing about nails. How could I do such a thing? Well, I learned. I read a lot of books. No computer at the time. There was no such animal.
Right.
And I just...
Right.
You're right, Ken. And may I call you Ken?
Yes, you can.
No computers, so I did everything by reading magazines, went to beauty shows, learned from there, and nobody taught me. I'm self-taught. I'm self-taught in everything that I do, my artwork, my nail work, but I abide by all the laws within the industry.
And that's great when you can say that, because you can
Self-taught.
teach others
Yes.
utilizing that experience that you have. Because I know what you're talking about when you say self-taught, because I worked for LA County for many years here, Los Angeles County, and I was just sharing that with someone earlier today, that I pretty much was self-taught, because often they would say, well, we don't have the budget. We can't send you to training. We can't do this. So I had to train myself. I had to, I took classes and I have a degree, although I don't feel that defines, because really school to me, getting a college degree, basically you're learning theory. You don't really learn until you really get out in the real world
Life
and you start
experience.
doing what you said you
Correct.
did. You teach yourself. And that's the beauty of becoming an entrepreneur and mentoring. Did you have a mentor?
No,
You just did
not
it.
at all. I think this is funny. I talked about this today, the same things that you're talking to me.
Okay.
I did not have a mentor. And you want to know something? I don't think I did. everything like my family talked about. We didn't talk about those things that they do now. They didn't say what you're going to do when you grow up. You're supposed to get married, have children, and that's it. That's your life.
Right, right.
And I don't believe in that. I mean, I was married. I have a son. I am now divorced. My son is married, 2 grandchildren. Very happy for them. But there's more to life than just being married, having a children. Nothing against it, though. Please don't think I'm saying there's anything against it.
Right.
But you must grow. You
Absolutely.
must grow for yourself.
You do.
And not only did you grow, but you followed your own divine order. You know, you followed your own path to success. You found your passion and you capitalized on it. And you taught yourself how to become a surgeon, if you will, in nail technician.
Yes, that's why they call me the nail doctor.
That's right, the nail
like
doctor.
that.
That's
I
right.
like that.
Instead of being in the surgical room with all those gadgets, and they have to wash your hands and put those gloves on you and wrap the little gown around you, and you got to put the mask on. Now I know you do a lot of these things in the nails in the nail salon.
You do.
But this is a whole nother kind of surgical technique, you know, because you're being real precise with the artistry, which is why it looks so good on the nails. It's art. It's art, and also it's something that, like you said, it was self-taught. It was something that you developed, and you've taken it to heights that many nail salons would never be able to, fathom.
Whole new level where you're teaching it to other people. You've won. Tell us about the championships you won, and we have some pictures. Let me show a couple of the pictures we have.
Talk about that while we show some of these.
And talk about how you won and what, because we're gonna while we put these on the screen, we're gonna just show a couple of them right now, and just go ahead and tell us about how you won those championships and what they were for.
Well, my first one I went to was in New York. It was called the IBS show, which is the International Beauty Show. I went there just to see what was going on, and I saw they had contests. So I says, I'm going to try that. So I went, I tried it. I didn't win. I cried, was very upset, but I was determined. My clients, they believe in me 150% or more. They're my mentors. They're the ones who promote me. They're the ones who push me. Go do it. Keep trying something new. So I went to Philadelphia, and I won my first competition. And then I decided I was going out to L.A. See, I was in L.A. too. And I went there to the competitions there. And there were 400 people in the room. I don't believe I did that. Didn't win, came in 4th place. But the woman that wrote the article on what I learned, it was a stroke. You're going to laugh. One tiny little stroke. She was one of the judges. I walked over to her in tears, and I said, what did I do wrong? And she looked at my nails, and she goes, well, I like that one. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. I said, well, what did I do? She goes, take this nail, polish it red, and come down tomorrow to my booth, and I'll show you. That's what I did. That's all she did. She took a brush and she showed me. From that day on, I practiced on every single client that walked in my salon. And I charged them $1, $2, $3, $5. And I honed my own technique.
That's right.
A year later, or thereabouts, I'm not even going to remember all the dates. A year later, I started to win. I won 3rd place. Then I started winning 2nd place. And then I won all 1st place. I took 15 trophies, 1st and 2nd in the world, 1st and 2nd international.
Wow.
Different years.
Nice.
That's amazing.
And that's how I did it. And I traveled to California 4 times a year. Ken, Louise, 4 times a year I traveled. Took whoever wanted to be my model, I paid for them. I was very, very lucky, still am, had hard times. I was very lucky at the time. I paid for my girls to be my model. I paid for the airline ticket. I paid for their hotel room. I made very good money. I was one of 3 salons in all of Brooklyn that did the work I did. And they loved me. I loved them. I treated them, it was unbelievable. The only salon in all of Brooklyn that sterilized her instruments before anybody else did.
Wow.
That's amazing what you did.
Yeah, because you a lot of times we hear about these mishaps that happen in nail salons where women develop fungal infections and things of this nature in the nail salons because of the sanitary or the lack of sanitary applications to their equipment.
Yes, but I learned the easy way. I found out when I would go to the shows and found out what can cure or kill everything under the sun.
Right.
And that's how it started.
Yeah.
Right. It's amazing. We were showing pictures of your nails and all the designs and so forth that you've done. They are beautiful as you were speaking and telling about your awards and your championships and so forth. And you did open up your own salon. So what with you learning all this, and you had a lady you said that was sharing with you and you went and practiced, so you really did have mentoring. It just wasn't direct, I guess. It was kind of an indirect mentoring that you had, and that's okay.
Yes. All indirect. I guess I always thought mentoring was one-on-one, but no, it was all indirect.
Right. And
but
that's
I still went and did what I wanted to do. I didn't want to open a salon, Louise.
Well, why did you do it?
Well, I used to work and go from house to house, and I was out till 3, 4 in the morning working. And at the time, my ex-fiancé said, I think you should open up a salon. And I said, no, I don't want to. He found a place, and I still didn't want to do it. But now you're going to laugh. I found the same place he found 3 months later.
Really?
Yes. And I went home and said, Frank, I found a store. And he goes, you did? Where? And I told him. He goes, that's the same store I told you about. I said, well, I wasn't ready 3 months ago. I'm ready now. And the only reason I felt I was ready, I said, if I could run an apartment and a family, why can't I run a store?
Right.
You're right.
It's no different.
You're right.
And a lot of people think that they can't do it.
Correct.
Because they have the family or because of their marital status or whatever the case. There's no such thing as impossible. There has to be something called priority management. What's most important to the individual? And you can make things happen and you can make things work for you as you did.
If you want it.
That's right. If you want it bad enough, you will make it work.
Correct.
And you had the business skills, Tina. You mentioned that just now. You said, well, if I could run a household and I could run a family. And that's what I think so many of us fail to realize. When you really are the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer, and the COO, Chief Operations Officer of your own family. You're running a business every day. When you raise children and you do this, you're managing how to, you got to get up and prepare your kids for school. You have to make sure they get the food. You got to go out and grocery shop. You got to take care of your household needs. If you're married, you got to take care of your husband. Your husband has to take care of you. So you really are running just like you would run a business. You have a plan, and that's what it's all about. You have to have a plan in place in order to make these things work. And we do that every day without realizing it. So you did nail it.
Well, and you want to know something? I didn't write it down. I don't even write my goals down now. I don't write it down. I just knew what to do. When I went to WEBO, which is Workshop in Business Opportunity, and at graduation, they taught me things that I was already doing that didn't know I was doing. Does that make sense, Louise and Ken?
Yes, it does, because I've done the same thing, yes.
And I got up at graduation, and I was very serious, and I looked at everybody, and I said, if I knew then what I know now, I would never have opened my business. And they looked at me. I said, they make it so hard. It isn't hard. At the time I opened, marketing in a newspaper. Mm-hmm. Word of mouth is the best marketing in the world.
It is.
Yes.
It still is, even with computers, even with Facebook, even with Twitter. It's still word of mouth, isn't it? You have to type it in. It's your mouth and your word.
Right. That's right.
And I agree with you. Yes, word of mouth means a lot. It gives you credibility when you do an excellent job, and your clients will promote you. And is that how you did much of your marketing for your salon? And how long have you been in business with your salon now?
32 years.
And look, longevity. So obviously, word of mouth has carried you far.
Well, when you do this type of work, I mean, when you do this type of work here, somebody is going to tell somebody about it.
Yeah, we're showing you a picture of one of
We're going over these pictures again.
Pictures that you have that we input into the system worldwide. They're looking at what you have accomplished in these beautiful paintings on nails. And now not only are you doing nails, you're doing murals in homes. Is that correct?
Yes, I just finished a tree in someone's home today. That's why I think this worked out perfect. This is unbelievable. Wow. I just finished a tree that's called a family tree, and she's going to put pictures of her family on it.
Wow, that's amazing. You are amazing. Looking at your artwork.
Yeah, we're looking at this, and you know, I've seen nails on women, you know, for over the years. Very rarely do you see this type of artistry and detail.
Right. It's amazing.
Detail. This is surgical procedures.
Your artistry is impeccable.
If you could see me, I think I'm blushing. I swear. I'm so happy. Thank you so very much. I am. I'm blushing.
Yes,
I am like...
It's impeccable what you have done, and the creativity of it too. In looking at it on the screen, you are so creative, and you have done surgery on these nails, and I'm sure you're doing it on these in the homes of people. That is amazing. And what is the name of your salon again, Tina?
It's Nail Artistry by Tina.
Okay, Nail Artistry by Tina. I love that. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about your book, because we want you to give these other people out here that's thinking of going into a business some tips on what to do, because I haven't had an opportunity to read your book, but I will get your book and I will read it, because I'm sure you have some great business tips, and we'd like for you to share. But what we're going to do is go to a break, and we'll be right back.
Yes, it's Aim to Purpose, the radio show, the polished entrepreneur, winning in business and nailing it with excellence, with our guest Tina Panariello. Don't you go nowhere. This edition of Aim to Purpose, the radio show, is brought to you by L. Hicks Consulting Services. When you want the best of business coaching, life coaching, or perhaps your organization, business, or company is in need of a dynamic speaker for an upcoming workshop or seminar, contact Louise Hicks for L. Hicks Consulting Services.
Hello.
At 1
Hello.
562-310.
Hi, Louise. This is Shamika. I'm calling in to ask Tina.
That's 1-562-310-1495. For more information about Louise Hicks and her consulting services, visit her website at www.louisehicks.biz. Again, that's www.louisehicks.biz. Or call 1-562-310-1495. L. Hicks Consulting Services, where professionalism is top priority.
Hello, world, again. We are back on air, and I believe we have Shamika on the line, but we were in a commercial break, Shamika. But we are back, and Tina, are you still there? We have Shamika on the line that would like to ask. Are you still there, Shamika? Hello?
No, she has to call back.
Okay, Shamika, please call back. She wanted to ask you a question.
And we're getting Tina back on because it was a total mix-up during the break.
Okay.
So I think both of them got hung up in the process.
Okay. Well, we're getting
them back on the air. But while we're getting them back on, as we hear the phones ringing.
Hello.
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 Are you there, Louise? It's Tina.
Yes, we are here, Tina.
We are back on the air.
You got cut off, but we are back on the air. And
I know, I got worried.
Oh, no, we're good. We're good. That happens sometimes. You know, we're dealing with technology.
Oh, I know about technology. I heard somebody was calling.
Yes, we heard Shamika on the line during the commercial break, and I think we lost her, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure she'll call
hopefully
back.
she'll call back. So if you're listening and watching, Shamika, please call back.
Oh, here she is, I think.
Okay, are you back on with us, Shamika?
Yeah, Shamika.
You want to ask a question, Shamika? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Would you like to ask a question? And welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Miss Tina, I'm wondering, how long does the actual process for many of the, for the art that you do on the nails, how long does that process take exactly?
It all depends on what I'm doing. If it's one finger, it'll take me maybe 5 minutes, not even. If it's all 10 fingers and it's intricate, it could take an hour or more depending on what the client wants. Because I could paint anything they ask for. So it depends on what they want, what they want to spend. And it lasts, this is another thing, Shanika, it lasts a month.
Wow.
Wow, does it really? Cause,
yeah.
Okay, because I'm one that I've been getting my nails for a long time. And I also wanted to speak to you just about the health of nails, because, you know, most of the acrylic procedures, it's not that healthy for the nails, especially when you're adding, you know, tips and all that other stuff. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about maybe other procedures that women can get that would not be so damaging to the nail.
Well, I do not use acrylic. That's the first thing that I'll tell you. Never used it in my salon at all. At least not acrylic with a monomer. There's a difference. There's acrylic with a monomer. You put it together, it forms a ball. You put it on the nail, and then you form it, and that's it. I also don't use curing gels in my salon, where you put the gel on the nail and you cure it in a light. So I just want to let you know that first. So what I do and what I've been using in my salon are silk wrap, fiberglass wrap, and a brush-on gel with a powdered dip. No curing.
Is that like the SNS?
I don't know. Have you ever heard of Back Scratchers?
No.
The company Back Scratchers. Well, they make a product, and it's a brush-on gel, and they have a dip. It's a powder. It's an acrylic. You brush the product on. You take it, put your finger in the powder. You brush the product again, and you spray it with an adhesive, and it dries, and then you shape it and buff it. It does not damage the natural nail. But the one thing I do, and I don't know about most salons because I'm concerned with my clients, they take off their nail enhancements every 6 to 8 weeks so I can see their nails.
Yeah.
And then they put the product back on. Most places do not do that.
Right. Okay.
My clients that put tips on, the tips stay on also 6 months, and they take it off. We check the nail bed, and then we will apply another set of tips. I've been doing that for 32 years.
So this is really surgery for you.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
Thank you, Tina.
I mean, that was
you.
great.
You're
That was
I
great
hope I
detail.
helped you, Shanika.
Thank you, Shamika.
Yes, you did. Yes,
Thank
you did.
Thank
you.
you, Shamika.
You're
and,
welcome.
And that was right in alignment with the educator part of your business, because you are a nail art educator. So you are also educating people. You teach at, are you still teaching? I know you said you speak at colleges, and we have a picture of you at a speaking engagement. I don't know where you were speaking here, but we do have a picture of you speaking, and I know you are educating.
There it is.
There's a picture of you speaking, and you did you teach at a college? I know you are an educator. You help to make sure that people are safe and healthy in applying your nail techniques and so forth. Is that correct? Are you there, Tina? Did you hear me? Oh, we may
Did
have
we lose her again?
May have lost you again. Hopefully, we'll get you right back. We may have lost you when we had the guest on speaking. Shamika came on, so we're going to get you back, Tina, because we have some other questions we want to talk about your education part of your business.
We're getting
So we're getting you
her
back.
on now.
we keep
Who
losing.
said technology was
Yay,
good?
I know
there
we
she
keep
is.
losing you, but we got you back, right? Yeah.
I guess you love me enough to get back to me.
Right.
Yes, we do, because you're imparting some great information, because we know, as Shamika, the caller, called in and talked about and asked you questions about the healthiness and so forth of how you make sure and how long it takes you to apply, and we showed your artwork. And as an educator of nail art, when you teach, are you teaching the health techniques as well on how to make sure your clients stay healthy with the nails? Because we know there are some issues where people have had to go to doctors about their nails and so forth.
No, I do not do that. I'm licensed as a nail technician, but I'm
Okay.
not licensed as an educator of nails.
I see.
I can teach artwork.
Okay, got it.
I cannot teach the part that you're talking about. I
Okay.
can teach my clients because they're my clients,
Right.
but I cannot go into the school unless, when I was with OPI, I was educator for them too. I
Okay.
was able to go in, but I'm no longer with OPI.
I got you. Okay. But that's good to know then, because your thing is about the art. You are more into the art
Yes.
of it. And
Real quick, because we only have a few minutes left in the broadcast. The artistry on the nails, do the people, they tell you kind of an idea of what they want, and then you kind of freehand it, or do you kind of sketch it out first like tattoo artists do, or how do you do that?
When it comes to the flowers, they basically tell me what they want to spend. I do not sketch it out. It's all in my brain.
There
And
you
I
go.
have pictures, and I look at a picture, and I could do it straight from the picture. The only thing I would sketch out if I had to was something very intricate that they would bring in, like someone brought in a dolphin with a football helmet. I had to sketch it, and then I painted it.
Right.
I do Santa Claus's face. I do not sketch it. I just paint it from what I'm looking at.
Wow.
That's how I do it.
so anything they want, you can do it. They just need to tell
Anything,
you.
and that
That's
covers many
amazing.
territories.
That's
I've
amazing.
done very strange things.
The human brain is wonderful.
Yes, and the
amazing.
human body was something I painted on someone's nails, and it's in my book. So I'm not saying
wow.
I'm not saying it live, so people could think about it.
And we have a picture
of the book.
too, as we get ready to close out here.
There's a picture of the book, Polished.
Polished.
And it's called Polished, Filing Away at Life's Truths. And it's an autobiography, isn't it, Tina?
Yes, it is.
And we have a picture. What inspired you to write the book?
I wanted to write an art book, but the publisher that I contacted listened to me for 15 minutes on the phone and said, "You can't write an art book. You have too much in your life to talk about. You're too excited. I have to know more." And that's how it started.
Isn't that amazing? And your life story has to be amazing. I can't wait to read the book and bring you back. Give us some quick tips, because we are getting close to time out, on what a business person, what would you inspire anyone to do that wants to go into their own business?
I inspire them to really love what they are doing.
Yes.
You can't like it. You've got to love it.
That's right.
You've got to want it. You've got to be determined. You have to sacrifice. There are some things you do have to sacrifice in order to do it.
Yep.
I had to sacrifice being away from my son and get a sitter, but I was at school every time he needed me. I was home between 3 and 6 to be there for dinner, to go through homework, to get him ready. So you have to sacrifice. And you have to put your all into it. You can't do 25%. You can't even do 75%. It's either 100% or don't do it.
That's right.
Right. That's the key to having a successful business. You're right. You got to put your all into it, and you have to sacrifice and love it, as you say, love it.
Yes, and
those are key.
And you can have both. Don't let anybody kid you. You can have both.
Yeah.
I know you can. I raised a beautiful son. He's an accountant. He went to college. He's great. He's done everything I taught him. I taught him well. I mean, he has his downfalls, like we all do.
Absolutely.
But I taught him well. And I said, anything you want, you have to go after and get it. It's not going to be handed to you. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
Well, most of us, it doesn't work that way.
That's right. And where can we purchase your book?
You could get your book either through
Show
me,
the book, Ken.
through www.tinapanariello.com, and I will send you an autographed copy.
Yay!
Wow, yes.
You could get it from Amazon.com, or you could get it from Tate Publishing, LLC.
And I know about Tate Publishing. They published my book, A Hill to Climb, A Teenager's Battle with Cancer, Depression, and Drug Addiction. Tate Publishing.
Did?
Yes. I was amazed when I saw that. I said, wow, we have the same publisher. Yes. So it's so great. And give us a final thought and your website again, where your book, and I'm going to definitely get your book. And give us your website again, because we are about to close out. And give us a final thought.
The website is www.tinapanariello.com. And the final thought, which is what I say, I just did it.
I love
I
that.
just did it.
I just did it. And you know what? You nailed it.
Right.
That's the other one. Okay, you got me there. You got me there.
Yeah,
Right.
you nailed it. And you know what? Thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to read your book, and I would like to have you back on because I want to discuss your book more.
Yeah.
But I didn't have an
I
opportunity,
would love it.
so we focus
I
more
would
on
love
your
talking
business.
to both of you again. I would love to contact you and talk to you just as a phone call, not only as an interview. You guys are wonderful.
Thank you.
Do it. Thank you so much. And we'd like to thank AJ and April Mata out of Florida for sharing you with us.
Oh, my God, they did it. Oh, my God.
Yes. Yes.
You know, AJ and April, I'll always have, and they'll probably see this interview. I did my very first radio interview with them, my very first radio interview on internet with them, talking about health matters and things of that nature. This was back in 2012, I believe, 2011 or 2012. So I'll always be grateful to them for opening their platform with Spiritually Raw TV to allow me to voice my little 2 cents, you know, on health matters and how the brain and the mind works and all that stuff. So I'll always have gratitude to them for that.
Oh yeah, gratitude definitely, because I was on their show.
I do have it for them. I really do. They've helped me a lot. They've done good things for me as well.
Great people, April and AJ, and I was on their show before, Spiritually Raw as well, and I'm grateful. But thank you so much for coming in and sharing your creativity with us, and how you nailed it and how you're winning in business. Anybody that has been in business for 32 years, definitely you are a polished entrepreneur and you are winning
That's right.
in business through excellence and with excellence. And we appreciate you coming in, and thank you for being on our show today.
And the name of the salon is Nail Artistry by Tina, and that's in Brooklyn, New York, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Okay, thanks, Tina.
You're lovely, both of you. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Sure. And with that being
you have-
said, you have a great evening, Tina. And
You too.
with that being said, we are going to thank our audience again, our global audience, for joining us. And as always, remember, your power lies within you. Let it loose.
Until next week.